Hello Reddit. What's the one thing that blows your mind every time you think about it? How much of our childhood we don't remember, especially the very early years. That for any given one of us, there are quite probably hundreds of thousands of people in the world who would find us attractive and or fall in love with us, and probably millions who we could be close friends with under the right circumstances, and yet so many of us are so lonely. How many chances I must have missed in my life. Edit. So since a lot of you tried to say that I shouldn't be sad about this and live in this time, I just wanted to say thank you. But I didn't want this to be that negative. It's just interesting how different life could been with a small difference in decisions. But thanks guys. That I have probably driven past a few houses with kidnapped people being trapped inside. Random times while I'm driving, I'll think about the other 30 people around me all going about 70 miles per hour on the highway, staying in the lanes and still being 4 to 6 feet away from touching other cars. How is it possible we can manually operate machines going at speeds incomprehensible 100 years ago without killing everyone around us? Why isn't there nothing? Why does anything exist at all? The size of the galaxy and universe. I can't even begin to comprehend it. The butterfly effect. About 6 years ago at about 3 AM in a side alley in Auckland, New Zealand, I was mugged for everything I had on me. The police came, took me back to the station, and did the whole crime report process. After it was all done, I declined the offer of a ride home and got my friend to pick me up instead. On the way home, we got a flat tire and had to pull over and knock on someone's door asking for help since we had no tools to change our flat. A woman opened the door and got her brother to help us out. Talked to her etc. and grabbed her number. 6 years later we have a 7-month-old daughter and I couldn't be happier. That everyone has their own life and I'm a side character. That I feel like I didn't really know my parents as well as I thought. About 7 years ago they both passed away 2 months apart from cancer. I have no siblings and was left to clean everything up and take care of their estate and belongings. I found some stuff that I knew nothing about. Now granted, they were being the best parents they could be and sheltered me from a lot of stuff, but sometimes I feel like that sheltering was a disservice. It just blows my mind how the persona left behind after death are not quite the ones I remember living. I miss them both dearly. The ocean can be as deep as commercial jet cruising altitudes. Imagining all that water above my head. Was listening to a podcast and it said something like, place a grain of sand in your open palm. The sand is the sun, your hand is a solar system, and the continental United States is the Milky Way. Death. It's just bizarre. The fact that we don't know for sure what happens after our consciousness leaves the body terrifies me. Another thing that blows my mind is that the space is so large that there is a possibility that there is an exact copy of Earth somewhere out there. That literally every small decision you've made in life, no matter how insignificant it seemed, lead you to reading this post, and any difference could have altered your life wildly. Every time I think of a brilliant plan to change the world, I realize there are 7 billion consciousnesses on this planet with different ideals and memories and goals and dreams. DJ Khaled is in some bathroom pointing at his belly in the mirror and saying another one, and some Muslim girl is arguing with her dad about wearing hijab when they are alone on the farm doing chores, and some old Japanese man is going to catch his last fish and lay in his bed and die later. It's weird that any of this works at all, at times. During the night, your intervertebral discs relax and expand. That is why you are 1% taller in the morning than in the evening. Every single time I look up into the night sky I'm breathless. I hope I never lose that feeling. The fact that the stars/planets/celestial bodies we see from Earth could be long gone, based on the increasingly large amount of time it takes for light to travel from them to us. I've posted this before, but it blows my mind how much collective work is put into every single thing around us. Pick up a book. The author was not the only one responsible for it being in your hand. So was the owner of the publishing company, the factory worker making sure it was printing correctly, and many others. Look at a building. From the mind of the architect that designed it, the contractor in charge of building it, the construction worker who put his sweat and hard work into those walls. An apple you might have for a snack goes through many people, like the farmer, to the distributor, to the grocer that stocked it on the shelf. Pretty much everything around us had so many people working on it, many that you don't even consider. That's pretty amazing to me. We can go to the moon and walk on the moon, and yet Windows updates are still atrocious. The universe either goes on forever or there is a border to it. Both of those things are difficult to conceptualize. As is with most major beliefs, we either cease to exist at some point, or we live for eternity in an afterlife. Both of those things are hard to imagine. I'm a nuclear engineer. My daughter's studying astrophysics. When she starts explaining the behavior of planet clusters from formation to decay, I'm amazed at how similar they act to the nuclei of an atom, especially unstable isotopes. That if you take all of the other planets in our solar system, including Pluto, and place them next to each other, they will all fit in the space between the Earth and the moon. That every living thing ever lived is related to each other, not in some figurative way, but literally. You and I are related. We are both related to George Washington and Buddha, all of us to the giant redwoods in California, and to your dog, and to the last Tyrannosaurus Rex that died of the meteor strike. We are all related to the trilobites, to common cold virus, and we all go back all the way to that first living thing. This just simply blows my mind.